This is a CBS7 First Alert Weather Day. Now, an update from the First Alert Weather Center.
Well, we saw a relatively hot day across West Texas, even hotter in the Big Country. That's correct, 111 degrees in Alpine. The hottest in West Texas was 110 down towards Rio Grande Village. But you can see most areas were 105 plus right across the Permian Basin. 104 in Big Spring, and then those showers moved across and dropped temperatures by about 10 to 12 degrees around the Big Spring area. And temperatures in the mountain areas were a little cooler. It was like the lower 90s in Marfa, 96 in the Alpine area. Taking a look outside right now on our live iCam in Midland, where we are seeing that we do have pretty quiet conditions, some leftover clouds from the earlier showers across the area, but temperatures still hanging on to the mid to even upper 90s in a few spots out across Ward County and Monahans right now, and 101 down towards Terlingua. We did have some gusty winds from all those showers, thunder showers dying out, and still some gusts up to 22 in and around the Andrews area, but a pretty quiet evening. Tomorrow, more of the same, as temperatures will be around 104 to 105 across the area, and keeping those triple digits into the weekend. It's next week, though, when we could see a little bit different story in our forecast, as we will be looking at two things: high pressure moving away and some tropical moisture moving in, helping us out on temperatures and even rain chances.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for CBS 7 News on the CW, and thanks for joining us live on the CBS 7 YouTube. I'm Alexandra Macia. We start tonight tracking crime. A Midland High student was arrested today after marijuana and a gun were found in the student's backpack. A teacher alerted administration to the smell of marijuana in the classroom. MISD police were dispatched and a K-9 alerted to the presence of drugs inside a backpack. When it was searched, the drug and firearm were discovered. MISD thanked the teacher and campus police for responding quickly and handling the incident safely. West Highway 80 was briefly closed this evening after smoke from a grass fire caused low visibility in the area. According to the city of Midland, this fire was caused by sparks from a train, causing multiple grass fires in a 2-mile stretch along the south side of West Highway 80. There were no injuries reported and the highway was reopened. And in your traffic news, the Texas Transportation Commission approved a record amount of funding for TxDOT's Odessa District 10-year plan. Governor Greg Abbott coined the phrase Permian Promise about a year ago to ensure the well-being of the Permian Basin. And the Permian Strategic Partnership says this funding is evidence of that promise.
Very happy to see this long-term investment being made in our transportation infrastructure here in the Permian Basin.
The Texas Transportation Commission voted unanimously to approve $4.3 billion in funding for TxDOT's Odessa District over the next 10 years.
$4.3 billion that's as big as it sounds. But I think what's also important is that this is a long-term investment. This is a decade-long investment that the state of Texas is making right here in the Permian Basin.
The Permian Strategic Partnership and Representative Brooks Landgraf and others have been advocating for funding to help solve the infrastructure needs in the Permian Basin.
We took safety records combined with volume and the condition of the roadway and made a priority list so that when we got money, our projects were as close to shovel ready as possible. And I also think that helped.
The funding included in the 2024 Unified Transportation Plan broke a record. President and CEO of the PSP, Tracy Bentley, says it's an example of what happens when people understand the importance of our region.
Others who have received funding numbers like this are Austin and Houston and Dallas and San Antonio. We're the only rural district. But it makes perfect sense, because we are the largest economic driver in the state.
The PSP prioritized US 285 North. TxDOT has also been focused on the I-20 corridor, but with the amount of funding, many projects will be accomplished.
You just need to look at the end goal. The end goal is to have better roadways, and while it is an inconvenience to have our roadways being worked on, it is a challenging road to get there, but the end result is going to be far better and improved roadway for everyone.
Bentley says safety was a top priority, as here in the Permian Basin we have dangerous roads with high traffic fatalities. So these investments will help improve that need as well. Your education news: Tuesday night, the Ector County School Board voted unanimously for 3 bond propositions to be on the upcoming November ballot without raising county tax rates. 3 bonds will provide upgrades and maintenance to existing schools and the construction of new schools. A large proportion of the bonds will go towards a new career and technical education center in South Odessa and a new middle school in West Ector County. Despite an over $430 million price tag for the 3 bonds, the total tax rate will not increase for Ector County residents.
The way we're able to do that is we have been paying our bonds off early for the last 3 years. We're able to make early payments, much like a homeowner would make an advance payment on a mortgage and save interest. We've been able to do that as well.
All 3 of these bond proposals will be on the ballot in November. For a full list of everything included in the 3 bond proposals, visit our website at CBS7.com. And Big Spring ISD's returning teachers are getting a bit of a boost this school year in the form of a retention bonus. According to our media partners at KBS Media, the district superintendent announced today those returning teachers would see an increase of $500 from last year. The superintendent says it's one way administration is saying thank you for being a part of Big Spring ISD. Are you making weekend plans? You might want to head out to Andrews. The county is having its first gun show in over 40 years. The last person that would organize these shows retired in the 80s and nobody's filled his position until the owner of Cat Collectibles stepped in. He's a former law enforcement officer for Ector in Andrews County, and with his connections and love for gun safety, hosting this event was a no-brainer.
But really and truly, there's a lot more good things that happen that nobody ever hears about, and this is that's what we want here. We want people to have a real positive viewpoint of our show and the people that are here.
The gun show is at the James Roberts Center all day. And if you're not into guns, knives, and coins, you can go to an event this weekend with cars, cooking, a concert, and an anti-bullying campaign. An Odessa grandfather puts the event together, motivated by his granddaughter persevering through bullying at school. Saturday is meant to be a positive day to come together, make friends, and learn how to prevent bullying as kids head back to school.
We need to help the future of tomorrow. That's very important, because we have a lot of lost kids out there, a lot. And we need to come together and start changing this.
He went on to say it's important to help the victim and the bully find the root cause and help both who are suffering. The all-day event will feature a car show with awards, a retrofitted game bus, food, anti-bullying speakers, and a school supply drive. Kids will also take an oath to not bully others. You may remember back in May, we brought you the story of LeBrian Perez, who overcame the odds to walk the stage at Midland High's graduation despite having leukemia. As you just saw, today LeBrian officially rang the bell at Texas Oncology in Midland to commemorate his victory over leukemia. We spoke with his family after the bell ringing, and they were overjoyed.
I was feeling amazed. I was so honored. I'm just honored to be his little brother through it all.
No, I would just like to say I'm proud of you, LeBrian. I love you. I'm your biggest fan. I can't wait to see what God has in store for you.
LeBrian will now leave for Lubbock Christian University tomorrow. According to his mother, he now wants to study to be an oncology nurse thanks to his experiences with the nurses at Texas Oncology. Loneliness is a hard thing to overcome, especially for some older people, but not for some seniors at Casa de Amigos community. Take a look. The Midlanders put on virtual reality goggles and experience something they haven't done before. It's a new way to combat loneliness and build friendships. They can travel to Amsterdam, swim with dolphins in the Caribbean, or visit the home they grew up in. It is Small Business Summer Thursday, and we are taking you to Tokyo One in Midland. The restaurant serves up fresh, authentic Japanese and Korean food with an emphasis on excellent service. Owner Brian Choi spent most of his life working in the hospitality industry in California until he risked it all to open up his very own restaurant. And Choi has the highest of standards for the food he serves.
We do our best all the times. I go shops for grocery shopping every single morning.
Wow.
I buy only small pieces, but daily base, super fresh. I never buy boxes.
For the full story on Tokyo One, tune into Small Business Summer tonight at 10. And for more information on the restaurant, you can go to our website at CBS7.com. And still ahead, we introduce you to a man who is representing West Texas in STEM fields. His story is next. West Texas is a diverse and big place and represented all around the nation. Monahans native Brendan Worth got an award as one of Oklahoma's next gen under 30 for his work in STEM fields. Worth got involved with STEM after being introduced to the industry at Monahans High School while doing small things like working in Excel. His company, Code Collaborators, aims to even the playing field for small businesses by getting those entrepreneurs equal access to cutting-edge technology for marketing and growth.
Being a small business owner myself, that's always been where my heart is wanting to help small businesses. And so to get to receive this award and kind of be recognized as somebody who's under 30, who's a leader in Oklahoma is it's really unreal to me, to be honest with you.
If you're interested in going into a STEM field, Midland College offers a program that works with Texas A&M to allow students to transfer College Station to further their STEM career.
Well, we are going to be looking at some hot temperatures hanging around in our forecast. We'll talk about how long this heat streak's going to last before we see some changing. That's coming up next.
This is a CBS7 First Alert Weather Day. Now, an update from Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
It was extremely hot in parts of the state of Texas today. Let's take a look at those high temperatures again. We saw them up to 111 degrees in Abilene, 109 in the Sweetwater area. We weren't that bad off, but still hot enough. All the way up to 106 in Odessa out towards Pecos, 107 in Wink. Topped out 105 out at the Miller National Air and Spaceport. It was a little cooler in the mountain areas, but again, an extremely hot day out there that did spark up some showers, thunder showers with some daytime heating, a little ripple in the atmosphere moving across, and some boundaries left over from earlier showers and thunder showers. So we may see the same thing again, but I don't think we're going to have the upper level help, but still a shower in the forecast because we're going to have intense daytime heating out there as temperatures right now are into the mid 90s across many locations, 99 out towards the Monahans area, 96 in Pecos, still 101 down towards the Terlingua area. Now here's what's going on in the upper levels. That stubborn ridge of high pressure has been moving back and forth across the state. Well, it's now moved back in. So again, we saw extreme heat across most of the state of Texas. This is on the move, and it's going to be moving off to the north and northeast. So after the weekend, a little bit of a change. Then our attention is going to turn to the Gulf of Mexico as numerous forecast models try to show a tropical wave or something get going. That may bring in some Gulf moisture and even some showers to West Texas middle part of next week. Not a lot today. It was primarily across parts of the Permian Basin in the way of some showers as temperatures were hot out there. These were the readings up to 109 in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Austin, even along the Texas Gulf Coast, 103 to 105 this afternoon. Wicked heat statewide, and it looks like more of that in the forecast tomorrow. Don't think we'll see a lot in the way of showers, but an isolated shower not out of the question for tomorrow afternoon. Just a few fair weather cumulus clouds more so than anything else. So for tonight, it's going to be rather warm as we'll only drop down into the upper 70s, it looks like. And tomorrow, more the same, about 104 to 105 across the Permian Basin. Heat decreases a little bit, but stays in a triple-digit territory for the weekend into the start of next week. But then there's those changes. High pressure moving away, Gulf moisture moving in. So an increase in rain chances to the slight category. But look at those temperatures, a little bit nicer.
Still ahead, more pigskin previews from Jacob and Jair, including an in-depth look at the Permian Panthers, up next in sports.
Now, sports with sports director Jacob Brandenburg from the Ford Sports Desk.
After a few days on the road, I am back in studio to tell you about arguably the most famous high school football team in the world, the Permian Panthers. Being chosen as a team captain is an honor anywhere, but at Odessa Permian, that C on the jersey just means a little more. Big Frank Alvarado was chosen as a captain. He spent the spring and summer rehabbing a knee injury.
It means a lot to me, you know, knowing that my teammates voted for me. You know, it wasn't an easy offseason, but we worked through it the whole time, you know, and we came out.
5'9" linebacker Victor Ramirez is the fiery one.
It's really an honor, you know. I know my boys trust me to lead them, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to, you know. And I mean, I'm gonna just bring the energy to them, let them feed off of me. I'm gonna feed off of them, and we're just gonna play together.
Running back Justice Lara brings quiet mentorship to the offense. He scored over 20 touchdowns last year and will wear Permian's famed number 18.
It's actually a tradition here for the coach said the best player gets to wear 18, and it's a tradition, so it's really an honor to wear it. That's why I switched.
Lara leads Permian's run-first approach with Isaac Herrera and sophomore Gavin Walker. Herrera may also see time at quarterback. Sophomore Jacob Garcia and Evan Garrett are battling for that job. All of those guys will be behind a massive offensive line.
Across the board, this is the biggest line I've coached in 21 years of coaching offensive line. So yeah, we've got some big guys up front, and that's where it starts. So they're going to be ready to go.
They do it all. The spread, the triple option, the veer, they do it all. And they got some good runners, they got some good catchers, they got a good quarterback. He's young, but he's good. The better they are, the better we're going to get.
The defense, they fly around, and then they impress me every day at practice.
Permian has earned at least a share of the district title 4 of the last 5 seasons.
I wouldn't want to be anyplace else in Texas.
I mean, there's definitely some pride in it. End of the day, we just all got to do our jobs, and we execute, we win games.
We've been out working everybody, and we're going to show it off on Friday nights.
Now here we cover everything from 6A to 6-man. Ackerley Sands plays in a brutally tough district with Garden City, Rankin, and Borden County. Jair Brooks Davis has more on the Mustangs.
We return a lot of experience from last year between our JV. We had a really good JV last year, and a lot of guys that got a lot of meaningful reps on the varsity side.
For second-year head coach Ty Keith, he will depend on a new quarterback in Mason Rodriguez.
I had a competition with another player, and he made me want to be better for our team and everything. And it feels great being able to start for the first time, knowing I wanted to ever since a freshman.
He's looked really good. I've been proud of him. We scrimmaged the other day. He had a good scrimmage, completed a few good passes. You know, I'm just really pleased with him, his run blocking.
Senior Michael Diaz will lead the running backs for the Mustangs with lots of depth behind him.
Caleb Bordeo, Carlos Plata, Hayden Harveston.
I mean, we got a really deep backfield, I think, can do a lot of good things.
And the Mustangs will have a receiving core to go along with it.
You know, we'll have a few of them, you know, from Xavier Cisneros, Evan Segundo, Colby Hinton, Anthony Haston.
They've got good hands, so they can play receiver pretty well, in my opinion.
And some of those same names on offense will have an important role on defense.
Michael Diaz, Anthony Haston, Hayden Harveston, Evan Segundo, they all play primarily on the D-line. Our linebackers are Colby Hinton, Carlos Plata kind of plays a little hybrid safety linebacker role, and Xavier Cisneros are kind of our top 6 right now, 7. Just go out there and compete the best we can each and every week and see what happens.
There are only 2 days left in our pigskin preview, tomorrow and Sunday. In-depth looks at Alpine, Fort Davis, Sanderson, and Imperial Buena Vista are still to come. Stick around, we've got more after this quick break.
Still ahead, we take a trip to the 60s and see what Woodstock was like in 1969. Stay with us. 54 years ago today was the last day of Woodstock. August 17, 1969 ended the historic music festival, and it promised 3 days of peace and music in upstate New York, and 400,000 people showed up to experience it. People came in cars, buses, tractors, even walked to the festival. Nowadays, there are music festivals all the time, but none quite like Woodstock that year. Tom, do you remember this festival?
Now let's see, 1969.
Yeah, maybe
A lot of the good things happened in 1969.
You are correct, and that's some great footage they actually have here of the festival. The cars are lined up to get in.
The Summer of Love.
Yeah, great time.
What were the three big events?
1969?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's save the pop quiz for another day.
No, let's think about this. Woodstock, landing on the moon.
There you go.
Tom Tieferteller's birthday.
Oh, there you go. All right, well, thanks for joining us for CBS 7 News at 9.